One of the other aspects of Money on Mobile's design that I like is it's inherently very safe, right? Over here, we use the internet a lot. Everybody's afraid of hacking risk and all that sort of thing. Money on Mobile's not an internet-based system at all. People put in cash, everything is prepaid, so there's no credit risk. You can only spend what you put in, just like a bank account. And we function on the SMS text backbone. So you've got millions of people texting us every day to say, pay this bill, pay that bill, move money to another person. It's really not hackable in that sense. So we don't worry too much. We have adequate protocols and we watch what's going on with the transactions. But hacking the way we know it here in the United States is really not a possibility with Money on Mobile. So it's a very safe system financially and technologically.
From a Money on Mobile standpoint, there is no credit risk within this payment system. The way that that happens is any of the agents or the merchants that want to join our system, they have to make a deposit with us. So I'm a shop owner on the street corner. I want to start selling Money on Mobile services. I make a deposit at Money on Mobile. And that merchant can then do transactions up to that balance. So there's no credit risk between us and the shop owner performing the transaction. There's no risk between the shop owner and the consumer because the shop owner doesn't perform the transactions till they get the cash. Okay? So there's no credit risk, unlike in a credit card transaction. When I swipe my credit card in a POS terminal, when I go buy my Starbucks, for example, Starbucks is taking a credit risk with me, and my issuer is taking a credit risk with me because they're expecting me to pay at the end of that billing cycle. We don't have any of that credit risk within the system. And then we don't have any credit risk with the billers that we pay because we have lines of credit with each of those guys that are all backed up by certificates of deposit. So there's no credit throughout the entire system. There is cash at each of the stages, and everybody's guaranteed, once the consumer hands over that cash, that the transaction will be completed. So that's from a Money on Mobile perspective. From a consumer perspective, it's their trust with that merchant that they're handing over the cash to, that merchant is going to make sure that transaction gets happen. That transaction happens. And that's what we rely on. That's a merchant that they buy their everyday goods from. That's a merchant that lives in their neighborhood. That's a merchant that they know that if something doesn't happen, he'll be there tomorrow, she'll be there tomorrow. They can come back in there and get the problem fixed. So it's based on a trust between the consumer and the merchant, and that's what we're really leveraging.